course, as soon as I make fun of California about not having any rain, it rains, right? But we've got a schedule to keep. So I had a couple more questions that I'd like to answer today. One of which being warming up the tires. What's the purpose of warming up your tires? It basically just makes the tires more sticky. Not like stick to your hand sticky, but sticky to the road. And that way you won't go falling down in turns and stuff. Now, how do we go about warming up tires? Well, there's a few ways that I can think of. One of which being tire warmers, which are mainly just used on the track. It's basically this, think of it as like an electric blanket that you wrap around your tires. And it basically just keeps the tires warm while you're not riding it. But you have to plug them in, so wouldn't really recommend having your tires plugged in all night just so they're ready for the next day. Another way, and this only warms up one of your tires, the rear, in fact, and this method is also illegal. It would be known as a burnout, which I guess I could just tell you guys how to do a burnout. These I have done. I've attempted to do wheelies, but it's really just not worth it to me. So, to do a burnout, step 1, have a motorcycle. Step 2, put it in gear. I'm about to miss this exit again. Step 3, grip that front brake, that lever, as hard as you can. Step 4 would be to, while the clutch is pulled in, raise up the RPMs. Then step 5, there's a couple ways of doing this one too. Few people do it differently. The way that I like to do it, just because it's a little bit more controlled, is ease out the clutch quickly. Like, don't dump the clutch. So it's kind of like a first gear start, I guess, where I'll do one of these like that quickly. Some people just dump it, and it's like, I've seen videos where people will do that while they're trying to do a burnout, and the front wheel will come up and they'll flip the bike, or they'll accelerate real hard in a wheelie, and then they'll, with the front brake, oh my god, and then with the front brake still being squeezed, it'll flip the bike over end. So that's basically how you do it. Maybe one day I'll do it, but probably not. I'm not real big into stunting. I like watching it, I just don't like doing it. The third way to warm up tires, which is obviously the easiest and most legal, is just to kind of turn in your lane. Not an exact science behind it. You don't need to do it for 2.478 seconds. but just do that occasionally in the beginning of your ride, and you will be good. Of course, just because your tires are warm doesn't mean you can go out and conquer the world and ride like a MotoGP rider or anything. Another question I got is, which grade of gas should I use? Well, normally, in the manual that you get for your bike, it will tell you. But here in California, we have, generally, 3 different types of octanes that are available at gas stations. 87, 89, and 91. For my Ninja 250 and my Suzuki GS500, I used 87 because those are pretty much low-performing engines. For this bike, however, I used 91. Since I bought this bike used, I didn't actually get a manual. I'm just kind of assuming it takes 91. But it doesn't really matter because, I mean, when I need gas, I only need 3 gallons anyway. So, it's not like I'm filling up this Silverado here with valuable 91 octane. But here's kind of how I have it thought out. And this goes for 4 strokes. I have no idea what the hell a 2-stroke takes. Totally inexperienced in that area. So the way I think of it is 250, 300, and 500 take 87. No. Whatever the lowest one is. Is it 87? Ow. I think it's 87. Yeah, 87, 89, 91. That's what I just said. Come on, Chris, get your shit together. So 250, 300, and 500 take 87. And I'm sure, I know that there's other engine sizes in between those, but I'm just speaking off of what I know, or what I think I know. Then once you get to 600, I believe that's when you need to start putting in 91. So 600, 750, 800, 900, 1000, 1100, 1200, 1300, 1400. You get the picture. It takes 91. So, but normally there's a sticker on your gas tank somewhere around here that will tell you only use this octane, and that's just because, oh my god, these fucking bumps knocking me off my bike. Now you can always go higher if you're not sure. It's safer to go higher than to go lower. If I put 87 in this, it may not combust properly, create hot spots in my cylinders, which can either cause detonation or reignition. That's just a whole load of mess. So I just put 91 just because I love this bike and it's only the best. Also, I kind of wanted to tell you guys about my first accident, my first major accident. I was on my Suzuki, and this was back when I was working the graveyard, so I would start at 9 p.m. and I would get off at usually around 8:30 a.m. and I was going to school. So I just get off work and I'm running late for school. It's finals. So I rush home real quick. grab my backpack, and I make the mistake of not putting back on my jacket or gloves. So I'm in a shirt, Dickie jeans, and I've got my helmet on. And another thing that I was mad about was I had just bought a Shoei RF 1100 helmet. At least I think that's what it's called. It was like a $500 helmet. It's the nicest helmet I've ever owned. And so just keep that in mind. So I'm rushing to school, and weaving in and out of traffic. I wasn't on the freeway, I was on the street. The speed limit was 35. I have no idea how fast I was going. It was probably 45, 50. And what happens, as I was weaving in and out of traffic, some car up ahead saw me coming. And so I switch into the left lane, and I'm going to kind of cut in front, kind of like this, where there's a car to my right. So I'm kind of gonna squeeze my way through this gap here. So I start to move over into the next lane, and he sees me, and so he moves over into that lane as well. Now, what did I do in total panic mode? I slam on my brakes, because I mean I must have been guaranteed to hit him. But here's where things got a little sketchy. Here's what I remember. So I'm pressing hard on the brakes, and I remember coming up really close to the back of his car, like probably inches. So I probably came up inches to the back of his car, and that's all I remember from that moment. Then when I wake up, or whatever you want to call it, regain consciousness, I'm laying in the middle of the road on my stomach, my helmet on, my backpack on, and everything. And I can remember it so clearly. You know, the whole world was sideways. I could see my school ahead of me. And there's this guy, I could just see like his shin and his shoes. And he's leaning over and he says, "The ambulance is on its way." And I think I just said, "Okay." And then that was it from that. Then the next thing I remember is I'm in the ambulance. And I'm not sure if I was in and out of consciousness, or if I've just kind of blanked out periods of being conscious, if that makes sense. Because when I remember me being inside the ambulance, the paramedics were asking me if I can wiggle my toes for them. And I was like, yeah, of course I can. I wiggled my toes. And then that's it. It went black again. Then next thing I know, I regain consciousness, and I'm in this MRI CAT scan looking machine, and so whichever machine doesn't thump, because I don't remember any thumping, so I think it was the MRI. So I'm just finishing up the test as I wake up. They pull me out, and the next thing I remember is I'm on a gurney. And it's still a little fuzzy, but they basically told me you have a concussion and some road rash. I'm like, oh, okay. And I look down and I'm like, hey, where are my clothes? I'm like laying in the gurney with my boxers on. And I'm like, where's my backpack? Where's my helmet? Where the hell are the rest of my clothes? They tell me that they had to cut everything off. Which means, after I put the two together a few days later, I was laying in the middle of the street with only my boxers on. And even though the moment was over, I felt so embarrassed. So, backtracking to the hospital, they asked me if I had anyone I could call. And of course, everyone that I knew was at work. My girl was at work, my dad was at work, my mom was at work. And I'm thinking, out of those three people, who's going to be the least likely to freak out and the most likely to come pick me up? Well, I figured they probably would all pick me up. But I know that if I told my girl that I was in the hospital because of a motorcycle accident, she would just never let me hear the end of it. My mom, she's a school teacher. I don't really think that she could leave. So I called my dad. So I call him up, and this isn't from my cell phone. This is from the hospital phone. He picks up, and he's like, hello. And I'm like, hey Dad, you got a second? I don't know if you're busy or not. He's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, well, first, how are you doing? How's work? Yeah, it's good. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So yeah, listen, I'm in the hospital right now, and I've just been in a motorcycle accident. I need you to come and pick me up, and please bring some clothes. And he's like, just kind of speechless. And then he's like, yeah, I'll be there as soon as I can. So then he told his boss that I was in an accident, he needed to leave. He comes and picks me up, and that was basically the end of that. That was the first major accident I had. The one after that was the one that happened about a month ago, or a month and a week ago, where I broke my leg. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. And of course, as always, thanks for watching. Just remember, respect your bike, ride safe, and keep the rubber side down. I always really like these cars. Wish there was less traffic. But I still have yet to race anything on this bike. Looks nice.